Cadets, welcome to the Asylum Police Department. I am Captain Night Eyes, and your ass is mine for the next 7 days. During these 7 days, you are unable to be a civilian. If you're caught being a civilian, you'll be punished, your cadet period will be extended, or you'll be removed from the force. Do you understand?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Alright. In order to become a constable, you will have to go to a sergeant to get a ride-along. The sergeants are more than willing and happy to give this to you. If you fail your ride-along, you will be given an extra day, or 3 days, or even 1 week, depending on how poorly you perform. As long as you're a cadet, you are not allowed to play Civ. I want you working as hard as you can on your role-play abilities as a police officer. If you have any questions about this, we will be able to discuss that at the end. Now, let's talk about your gear. Go ahead and go inside. Talk to that NPC right in there. For your gear, I want you to get your items. Go to the items first. 10 coffee, 10 donuts, like every good cop does. After that, I want you to get 5 Red Bull and 1 gas can. Once you have those, go ahead and go to the uniform and buy your glasses and your cap. You will also want to get a sling. Once you have that, go to your equipment and get your night vision, your toolkit. Actually, cancel that, you don't need a toolkit. Your night vision, your map, navigator, GPS, all that stuff. And lastly, go to the weapon and buy magazines for your pistol. Once you have geared yourself up, open your wide menu, hit sync, and return to your place outside. Please hit I. In fact, all the cadets hit I. And Bender, tell me what is in your primary weapon.
Nothing, officer.
That's correct. A cadet's primary weapon is their voice. It is very important that you use your voice when entering a situation. It'll save you more often than your secondary weapon. Cadet, get legit. What is your secondary weapon?
My secondary weapon would be my handgun, sir.
That's correct. It is a PO7. It fires rubber bullets. It is always non-lethal. The only time it is not non-lethal is when the script for rubber bullets break. Whenever firing at somebody, always consider that. You might end up killing them. It takes about 1 headshot or 4 to 5 body shots to down a player. It is non-lethal with or without the silencer. It is up to you to decide whether you want to use it or not. However, when you do have the silencer on, it is easy to recognize when you are firing compared to when a civilian is firing, because the silencer is a very rare item that most civilians do not have access to unless they have stolen it. Sergeant Willard, Sergeant Herbert Willard here will tell you about some further information for the police force.
Okay, so we are going to go over probable cause. Probable cause, you guys know what it is? We will call on a cadet. Cadet, get legit. Give me, oh wait, you already did it. And Don Chair, what is probable cause? What does it give us the right to do?
Probable cause gives us the right to basically engage with like search or engage on a person.
Like search or engage.
So it gives you the right to, probable cause gives you the right to search the person and their vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you guys about what gives you probable cause. Okay, so if they are on the wanted list, that's probable cause. If they are in an illegal area, it's probable cause. Then by illegal area, I mean 300 meters within the field. For processing, it's a bit different. You actually have to see them in the building, or you have to see them go inside or go outside the building. So if you see them across the street from the building, that's not probable cause. Again, you have to see them either go in or out of the building. Drug dealers are probable cause. They're, as you know, they are outside the building now, so if you see a civilian at a drug dealer, that's probable cause to be off-roading. So that's one that you can get away with good RP. So if you pull over someone who's off-roading and they're like, I don't know why I'm off-roading, then it's probable cause to search them. If they have some amazing story, it's not probable cause. When you see someone with an illegal weapon or illegal vehicle, that is probable cause. And I want to let you guys know that if you see an illegal weapon, it is always to be seized. It doesn't matter if they have an amazing RP story behind it. Illegal weapons will always be seized. Okay, so if an officer witnesses a crime and they let you know, that's probable cause. If you witness the crime yourself, it's probable cause. However, if a civilian witnesses a crime, it is not probable cause. So if a civilian comes up to you and says, you know, Night Eyes was shooting at me, it's not probable cause. If another officer tells him, yes, it's probable cause. Checkpoints. If a checkpoint is manned and you see someone try to go around the checkpoint, it's probable cause. However, if they turn around and go back where they came from, it's not probable cause. They actually have to go around it and try to avoid it. And I want to let you guys know that you are not allowed to search trunks until combat is over. That means the situation is completely clear and all suspects are detained. That's a big one. Again, do not search trunks until the combat is over. However, you can seize weapons when not in combat. Alright, so now I am going to have Death send us an send us a dispatch, and you guys will be able to see what it looks like on the map. Always announce yourself. It's APD. Always announce yourself. Like he said, voice is your primary weapon, so make sure you always announce yourself. Okay, so I also need you guys to let them know everything that you're doing. Don't just go up to him and restrain him. Let him know, sir, I'm gonna go ahead and restrain you. This is for my safety and for yours. Okay, so once you have him restrained, you're gonna get a bunch of different options on your scroll menu. So first thing you will want to do when you have your suspect restrained is to search them. So let them know. Again, do not do it without telling them. Death, you are wanted, so I'm going to go ahead and search you. And if the vehicle is there, you can also search the vehicle. So once you search him, you will see whether or not he has illegal items on him. So right now, if I search him, and we can have Navigator come up and search him, and you will see that he has 2 illegal weapons on him. And he also has 12 crystal meth on him. You do not have this option as a cadet to seize illegal items. So when you do see someone with illegal items, make sure you tell a constable and have them seize the items for you. Have you seen it already, Navigator?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and seize the items. And I want you to search him again. It says no illegal items, right?
Correct.
And if you look at your chat, it says that he had $60,000 worth of contraband on him.
Yes.
Okay. So what we will do next is let him know what crimes he's wanted for, and I will have another cadet come up here. Mr. Atticus. Okay. Come up here and go ahead and give him a ticket. If you press 1, you can look at his wanted list. He is actually on the wanted list right now for 2 counts of manslaughter. So you will present that ticket to him. But of course let him know. So sir, you are wanted for 2 counts of manslaughter. At this point I would give them a chance to explain their crimes. Do you have anything you want to say about your crimes, sir? So this is where they RP. And if he doesn't have a good excuse, I believe we don't, you go ahead and give him his ticket full. So go ahead and do that. Give him his ticket for 50,000. Or is it 100,000? 100,000. You see in the chat, Atticus has given a ticket of $100,000 to Death. Death refused to pay the ticket. You can give them 1 chance to pay the ticket and let them know, sir, I'm going to give you 1 chance to pay your ticket. If you refuse to pay it, I'm going to send you to jail. If you're nice, you can give them 2 chances. We usually give them 1. And if they refuse to pay it, that's when you can take them to jail. Also, I want to let you know that you did not have this option as a cadet, but constables and above do. We can actually charge them with a crime. It's on our scroll menu. So if you saw the suspect evading arrest, let a constable know and we can add that to their bounty list. On to Death.
Alright gentlemen, if you all want to go ahead and come over to the vehicle. So as you all heard, I was wanted, I was a criminal, 2 counts of manslaughter, didn't have RP reason for it, so you have full authority to search. On the vehicle, if you scroll wheel, you'll notice that you have several different options than you did as a civilian. One, if you'll notice right at the top, the vehicle's unlocked right now, but now it's locked, and you all still have the option to enter as passenger and driver, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So, this does not mean that you can just jump into people's cars whenever you want to. It's a power of a police officer, so you don't have to keep unlocking and locking your vehicles as cops. Do not ever get in a civilian's vehicle without their permission. And if you're going to get in, it's usually just going to be to move it out of the street or get it somewhere safe for them so that it doesn't cause a wreck or an accident if you're talking to them. Other than that, there's no reason you should ever get in their vehicle. Some of the other options that you're going to see is impound. And when the vehicle is searched and has more than, if it's an illegal vehicle, you're going to get the option to seize it. And when it has more than $50,000 worth of drugs or contraband in it, you also have the option to seize it. You don't want to seize, kind of like what Sergeant Herbert was saying, until the situation is completely under control. You don't ever want to start searching vehicles or impounding or seizing. If you would, go ahead and search the vehicle. Not the trunk, just the vehicle. And what you should see come up in the top right hand of your screen is the vehicle owner, which would be Death, and then followed by Night Eyes. The top person is always the original owner of the vehicle. Anybody that comes after that has either been given keys or has lockpicked the vehicle and stolen it. So keep that in mind when you search a vehicle. If the person that owns the vehicle isn't there, then you're going to need to interrogate them or treat it as a stolen vehicle. You saw when you search the vehicle, it gives you names of the owners, and when you search the trunk is what gives you what's in their trunk as far as contraband and whatnot. So when it has over $50,000 worth of contraband, or if it's an illegal weapon or illegal vehicle, excuse me, then it will be seized.
So you will see us patrolling illegal areas. If you're in Athera, you patrol cocaine. Here goes Ephedra. Highway patrols heroin fields. Kabbalah is weed, processed, and weed field. I believe Athera also does meth lab now. Okay, so we are not allowed to camp the area. That means don't go back for at least 20 minutes. In order to figure out when we last went there, we mark the map by going into group chat. looking at the map and double clicking. You will see the option to edit a description, and you will put the minute there. So right now, it is probably blank, hour blank, minute 28, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll just put the minute there, 28. You can go ahead and give it a try if you'd like.
If you look
Make
at the
sure you're in
map,
group chat. Okay, so try to delete those if it's been more than 45 minutes, okay? That way we don't get confused if it happened an hour ago. So mark the minute, don't go back there until at least 20 minutes. And delete the mark if it's been more than 45 minutes. Okay, so you are only allowed to stay in the area for 2 minutes. Of course, if there's a firefight, you'll be there a little bit longer, but leave as soon as possible. Another illegal area, rebel base and cartels. The only time you can ever go into rebel base or cartels is if you're in active pursuit. That means you have sight on them going into the cartel or a base when you are chasing them. And even then, you do not want to go in if it's just one of you. For example, you want to make sure you have enough officers online. Ignore all 911 calls from rebel base or cartels and hostage situations. If there is a hostage situation, tell them you will not negotiate until they are out of the rebel base or the cartels. And you will, if you have the watchdog talent, you will be notified whenever a criminal on the wanted list uses an ATM. You will ignore all ATM pings at the rebel base. Do not respond to any of them. Again, the only time you go to the rebel base is when you are in a chase with them.
Lieutenant Volunteer, would you be kind enough to demonstrate the firepower of the police force?
Absolutely, guys. All right. For those of you who have not had the pleasure of being downed by a police officer, when you use less than lethal ammunition and you down a player, they will be incapacitated for up to 1 minute. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that now with you. Another effective tool that we have in the police force is our flashbangs. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the flashbangs for you. They're extremely loud and very effective in disorienting the assailant. Use them only when you absolutely have to, when your life is in danger, or if you think you can get a tactical situation that calls for it.
Never ever use them as toys or as riot control. That is not what they were designed for, and that is not what they are used for. If you're caught misusing your police gear, you will lose it, and you'll be removed from the force. We were very, very serious about the misuse of flashbangs. To one of my favorite talents, which is Highway Patrol, that lets you use any weapon as a radar gun. To use a weapon as a radar gun, currently you can use it with only your PO7. If you look at that hunter right there and you hit L, go ahead and look at the hunter and hit L. You'll notice it is not moving. It shows you how fast it would be moving. It was. With that Highway Patrol skill, you can then use any weapon to do that, not just the PO7. And last but not least, the show of force is how you get upgraded weaponry and the tac vest, as well as stun grenades when you are a constable or higher. For cadets, the first level will give you the Sting 9mm SMG. And I will remind you, just because that weapon is in your primary weapon slot does not mean it is your primary weapon. Your primary weapon will always be your voice. To earn talent points and experience, you need to complete one of the following: giving a ticket, sending to jail, repairing a vehicle, which is very minimal, applying a tracking device, which is again very minimal, and manning a checkpoint. Doing any of these will give you a boost to your XP.
Rule on respawning. So there's several different reasons why you would hit the respawn button, and they should only be used for these circumstances. One is if you're being redeployed. So say that a server restart happens and a briefing goes down. If you get assigned to Aethera, then you can drop your gear, seize it, and respawn at that point. As cadets, you'll have to be with a constable or above at all times. So if you're with a constable who's going to log off or is got to go somewhere, then at that point, if you're being redeployed, you can then respawn as well. If you get notification that the Federal Reserve or the Federal Reserve is being robbed or a jailbreak is happening, you can respawn to respond to those events. Also, once those events have been completed, then you can respawn as well to go back to your assigned city. Two other reasons that you could do it is if there are fewer than 6 officers online, so 5 or less, then you can respawn so that you can get somewhere to respond to a call. And the last reason would be if you are stranded. It doesn't mean that if you're way out in the middle of nowhere and need to get to Kavala that you just crash your car and kill yourself. We need to play fair here and be responsible when using that option.
Is that the skeleton rule? If you are finding yourself alone and outnumbered, and you would like to request backup from off-duty officers who are currently logged into the radio TeamSpeak, you are allowed to request backup from them. They are also allowed to refuse if they have possibly just served like 4 hours on the force and they want to take a break. They all, of course, have that right, but you are allowed to ask for help. I believe the number is 10 or less on a server is when you can ask for backup.
Captain, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Good luck, guys out there. Don't get yourself in trouble. I want to see you all make constable someday. Read up if you need help. All of the constables and senior constables and sergeants and lieutenants, and even the captains are here for you. Follow the chain of command when you have a question. Start with the constable and work your way up. Also, if you look in the TeamSpeak law enforcement channel description, you'll see the guidebook. This has pretty much every single answer to any one of your questions written out there, whether it's in the officer assistance guide or the ticket guide, what is legal and illegal, and the procedure on how to handle every situation. Use it, love it, learn it.